Hey, everybody. Our global prayer circle, and the date is March 7th, 2001. Good morning. So we still have a few minutes, so we can just begin to arrive. I let us in early, earlier than we usually start. Who else is in with us? I know that Eric is away for the next couple of weeks. He's doing some traveling or something, and he sends us all his love and prayers. And he'll be back with us when he's back in that place to be online with us again. So, Eric, we love you, and we'll be feeling your prayers today. I'm wondering if it's just us, I may not pull up the slideshow if you're okay with that. Let's just see who else pops in with us.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, oh. So I guess before we sink into the prayer place, I'm thinking about this notion of compassion we've been walking with all throughout February, right? And I suddenly realized, wait, we're in March now, right? So what comes after forgiveness? What's our contemplation for this month? I would love for us to just take a moment before we really begin and sink into that, and either just unmute yourself or write in the chat box. Let me open the chat. There we go. What comes after compassion, right? We've sat in that place of communion with the divine, and we've had this consideration of compassion. I know I'm just repeating myself now. It's my pondering. What comes on the heels of that? And maybe part of what we do today is in our breathing, we open up to what needs to be a focus for the month, right? As we're being in this space together, then throughout the weaving of our breath, we can see what arises. Does that feel right? Hello. Forgiveness, yes. Well, it coincides with two other.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah. We're working with forgiveness in Sa Sekam Sahu this month. So that's beautiful. And then now chemical healing.
Yeah, so we
we're
might
actually
that
this
would
week
be good.
working with forgiveness. So that I'm seeing yes from Deanna.
We'll be well practiced in it. We'll be well practiced.
We're going to work out that forgiveness thing this time once and for all, so that we just so I know it.
Beat it like beating the dead horse.
Yeah, no, let's stop beating it and let's prepare it properly and tend to it mindfully and bury it this time, right?
Mummify it.
Yeah, there we go. Shift
Mummify
it into what is forgiveness. All right. I think that feels good. I think everybody, Peggy, are you?
I think so.
I'm going to go with the group of us that are here to make that determination, but I want us to be in consensus. Peggy, do you feel good about that? Give me a thumbs up or a note. I'm assuming you're here with us. How about this? I'm going to go with without a opposition, we're good to go. That's actually been a new way I've been working with
That'll work.
groups where they vote, is anybody opposed? And they leave it at that. And if anyone's opposed, they can speak. So it has that place, right? Instead of everybody going to the affirmative, which is typical, all those in favor, everybody who, instead, let's see if anybody has a good, wants to, anyway, yeah. So, okay. So forgiveness. Yeah. Let's sink into that.
Yeah.
And it is just us. So I'm not going to pull up the slideshow if you're okay with that. I like us being in this boxy circle together. Okay. Although now that I say that, I don't know the honoring in by heart. You'd think I would by now because I've said it so many times. So let me open it actually after all. Silly. Silly. Okay. I'm really coming into this forgiveness, right? It's all about forgiving ourselves first, I think, and not judging the moments when we're just not quite sure, we're unsteady, or we're just exploring into what could be, or we're forgetting our slideshows. So honoring.
It's our first opportunity to forgiveness because of the slideshow. So
The slideshow or not the slideshow? Oh yes, we need a slideshow. And look, see, as we've been lingering, Rose has joined us, and now George and Martha are here. So it's actually all things are in perfect timing, right? All things in perfect timing. Welcome, everybody. So Rose and George and Martha, we were sitting while you were joining in with us with the notion of what March's focus is about. And everyone here before all thought forgiveness would be the good next step after compassion, and to just, sit in that communion place with the divine and work with that. What is forgiveness? How do we forgive? How do we receive forgiveness? All of that. Does that feel good for the three of you before we dive in? I'm seeing a nodding head from Martha. And Rose, I see your hands up. I see you're here. So what we were just saying is if anybody's against or opposed to working with forgiveness, we'll work. Yeah. Stop for a minute. Leave a space. Okay. Wonderful. So with that.
Sorry, I was muted.
And Rose, does that feel okay for you to have forgiveness be our focus for this month of March?
Yeah, I just said that any of us who wanted to oppose that idea, I'll forgive them now.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. See, as soon as we declare something, we're given all sorts of opportunities to practice. I wasn't going to put the slideshow up, and then I remembered I don't remember the honoring by heart. So there we go, right? And here we are. There we go, and here we are. So let's all just sink into this space of nowness together, this present tense that we all live in. Our heart lives in the present tense. It's our mind that's in the past. In fact, there's an actual number, it's some fraction of a second of the time it takes for us to take a stimulus in the world and process it through this processor to give us the information that we need. It's like, I looked it up at one point. It's a fraction of a second. So that means that our mind is knowing things in the past, but our heart is always in the present tense, always, always. So when we're thinking and thinking and working from that heart center, we're in the present tense. When we're caught in our mind, we're always processing what already has been. So I think that's an interesting meditation to sit with. So we're working with forgiveness, right? How do we forgive that past tense place and come into the present tense? So with honoring, one way. In gratitude of the directions, east, south, west, north, above, below, center. We are honored with this opportunity to co-create in this place. In gratitude of the elements, air, fire, water, earth, akasha. We are honored with the building blocks that provide foundation. In gratitude of time, past, present, future, we are honored by what was, what is, and what will be. In gratitude of the makers, mother, father, divinity in all your names and ways. We are honored with this opportunity to experience the gift of life. In gratitude of the guides, divinity, ancestors, nature, teachers, friends, allies. We are honored with your wisdom, understanding, and patience. In gratitude of ourselves, heart, mind, body, and soul, we are honored with this chance to serve the highest good of all. Let's just sink into our heart center place. Just noticing whatever's true in this present tense place of our heart. Noticing that inner flame that enlightens us. Noticing how strong or small it might be. And if it's a small little flicker or a spark, pour your love onto it. If it's a raging sun at the center of your cosmos, pour your love into it. And notice what happens. Follow the breath as it exchanges with your blood in this very real physical interaction that happens, carrying all that you breathe in into you, into your cells and your molecules, creating space. Not only carrying these gases that we need in our bodies, but carrying our love through our body. And today, allow that love to settle anywhere where it's needed most in your physical form. There's an ache or a pain or a dis-ease in some way, almost as if, like a magnet, the love just surrounds it, informs it, heals it. Now the love looks for those emotional discomforts or challenges and does the same, just surrounds them, informs them, softens whatever emotions are swirling in and through and around you. And in the same way, now that love surrounds all the thoughts that we carry, and any thoughts that carry challenge or difficulty or uncertainty or confusion, that love just surrounds them, informs them. Now, with this present tense of body and heart and mind, let's bring our attention down through the layers of the earth and meet in the center place of our planet. No matter where we sit, no matter what time it is, what day it is, what year it is, we meet in that center place. It's the same day, the same time, the right now place. And notice it's as if you are now that molecule of love within the body of the earth, informing, awakening, enlivening, remembering the earth herself. Noticing how this connects you to the life on the surface, connects you to the ancestors that once lived upon the surface and those who will live here one day in our future time, in their present tense time. Allow that, whatever it is for you, to be a truth that you now breathe up and into your body, into your heart center. So that pathway between your heart and the earth's heart is open, clear, is anchoring you to this precious earth so that you can also allow your awareness now to expand outward, beginning to pull in the depth and breadth of the cosmos with all the planets and the suns and the galaxies, until you find yourself at the center point, the heart center of the cosmos, however far near that is. And now, as if we together are a molecule of love within the cosmos, as we meet in the center place, we carry this love of self and love of the earth. And we begin to inform this universe. And as we inform the universe with our love, so too the universe informs us with its vast knowledge and wisdom. Just notice whatever this place is for you. And breathe it down through all those layers of time and space, through your crown, to connect to your heart center. Fully arriving in your body, in your heart, in your mind, in this present tense place. For it's in this present tense place that we now can open our hearts to the divine. However, it chooses to show itself to us, knowing that the eternal light is its message, shining us along our path. Arrive into that place with the divine and open your heart. To sit in communion and receive whatever you need to know about forgiveness. Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of other. Allow this breath and this time for the next 40 or so minutes to inform us about forgiveness. And if a prayer is bubbling up from that place in any way that you want to share, go ahead and unmute yourself and bring it forward. And of course, as always, if there are those who are in need of healing throughout our time, let's type them in the message and we'll speak their names at the end. And all throughout that light can shine around them.
This is Anita. I have a message for forgiveness to share. I title it The Amber Eyes of Kamambo's Deities. As we were doing heart breath, I could see Sobek so plainly, and I knew he was coming through. And this is what I wrote. As I ponder the theme word forgiveness, what appears in my mind's eye in the minutest detail is Sobek. Such steely eyes, golden slits like artisans pounding gold to make a suit garments. How dare one so earthly and cruel of nature dare speak of forgiveness, I ask. Oh, be not so judgmental, child, Sobek replies, then rumbles deep in his gullet, sounding more dangerous than kindly. How can you think to speak of pure forgiving thoughts without dragging them into the deep muck? My amber eyes may seem opaque with the extra protective eyelids, but they have the clarity of the darkness and are able to cut through the murkiest of waters to find the truth. Without that discovery, I would never find sustenance to energize my body, nor would you understand the path to any forgiving thoughts you believe you sought for fulfillment. Lest the hurt be dragged into the starkness of the ego mind, and there honed to malleability as beaten gold. Shall forgiveness be the end product of love and truth? Without the melding of mud clay and gold of truth and forgiveness, it would remain adrift as dead seagrass upon the heart's waters. This visual, as I pondered a moment, comprehension walking slowly in a great circle around us, I see another, Horus the Elder, resplendent with feathers glinting as gems in the sunlight. He alights beside me. Reluctant as it seems, I would be in agreement with my lower caste opposite of our Kamambo temple, he says. He speaks strongly, but wisely, and leaves the rest for you to ponder and find true or deny. The balance between his reality and mine is but a dimensional aspect apart. The forgiveness of any old hurt or transgression to you could be a difficult or rocky journey in a or a light shown into the dark place. True, it must be faced with heart and courage, yet be kind to your soul with that battle. The balance of truth is the scales of Maat, the heart made lighter than her plume for the act of forgiveness. Yet that same heart cannot shine as my feathers unless the reason is mummified with the golden linen of love for the self first, and then the love poured as molten gold upon the healed reason. The purity and wisdom of Kamambo is neither mine nor Sobek's alone, but both combined as one wise heart and heat and love forever shining in Ra's great light. Thank you.
Creator, this is your daughter Zahra Indigo. Today I feel this breath. I feel the passage of time, how it moves sometimes so slow and sometimes so quick. I feel the confusions about what will be. I feel the truth of what is. And I bring in this truth of forgiveness into my heart for all that was, for any wrongs I caused, hurts I perpetuated, whether with knowing or not. And to those who I've felt wronged by in one way or another, whose paths and mine have crossed in a way where my heart left heavy. I forgive all of you as well. Knowing that we each arrive into our moments, choosing and acting from the best of our ability at that moment. Creator, help me remember this forgiveness every day so that I step forward in a good way and not carry that which isn't needed. Creator, I ask that this light that we generate together in this circle every week and in this day today, that it surrounds each of us on this call, each of those who are aware of this call happening and may watch in some future time. And to those who are needing healing the most right now on the planet. And we share this light with Doa and Liz and Bill, Tim and Mike, Faith, Yuta, Sharon, Angie, Ida, Gigi, and Petra. Finding the balance. May we all find this balance. As we arrive in each of our moments in this day and the next, until we come back together again next week. And until then, thank you all for your presence and your breath and your continued attention to this prayer. I appreciate all of you very much.
And we appreciate you very much
Thank you.
for making this space.
Yeah. It's good for me too. Selfishly, it's good for me, even when I'm like, oh, I gotta get it together to get there. Like it's so hard to get from my bedroom to my, but still, then I'm like,
I
oh,
know the feeling.
right where I need to be with all of you.
I know the feeling.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for holding this space. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yes.
Okay, see you next
Lord
week.
willing.
See you next week.
See you in a little while.
And the creek don't rise, right? That's what my
Exactly.
grandmother
Right.
used to say.
Yes. Yes, mine too. Uh,
Okay, until next week. Bye, everyone. Love you.